Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller. Breaking news. In an emergency motion filed mid-February 2026, Children's Health Defense CHD, along with a group of parents, Dr. Paul Thomas and myself, asked a Massachusetts federal court to allow them to intervene in a lawsuit challenging recent changes to the CDC's childhood vaccine schedule. Attorney Rick Jaffe, representing CHD, said it best. Nobody in the room is speaking for the children who were injured or killed under the schedule. This high-stakes legal battle pits the American Academy of Pediatrics AAP against U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services at HHS. The AAP is suing to block recent changes to the CDC's childhood vaccine schedule, which reduced the number of universally recommended vaccines from 17 to 11. The vaccines moved to a category emphasizing shared decision-making between families and clinicians. Children's Health Defense and its co-plaintiffs, including parents, Dr. Thomas and I, are asking to join the case as defendants alongside Kennedy, and the Department of THS at our motion argues that the court is about to rule on restoring the old vaccine schedule without hearing from the families who were directly impacted by it. Andrea Shaw lost her twin sons 8 days after they received routine vaccinations. Shantisha Nelson's daughter, Sania Carter, died less than 12 hours after receiving 6 injections during a catch-up visit, even though she was sick. Both mothers believe that restoring the old schedule will lead to more tragedies like theirs. CHD's motion highlights a critical fact missing from the AAP's lawsuit. The cumulative childhood vaccine schedule has never been tested for long-term safety. The Institute of Medicine IOM recommended such testing in 2002 and again in 2013, but the study has never been done. Despite this, the AAP continues to claim the schedule is rigorously tested, a claim CHD and its co-plaintiffs directly challenge. Attorney Rick Jaffe said, "The IOM looked at this twice and found that nobody had ever tested whether the schedule, as actually given to children, is safe. Not individual vaccines, the schedule as a whole. 24 years later, the study still hasn't been done. 2 physicians seeking to intervene in the case, Dr. Paul Thomas and myself, were punished for challenging the CDC schedule. Dr. Thomas published a vaccinated versus unvaccinated study, the type of cumulative research the IOM recommended. Soon after, he lost his medical license. I used genetic testing to identify children at risk for adverse reactions to vaccines. My license was revoked for deviating from federal ACIP advisory guidelines." Jaffe explained, "These physicians tried to do what the IOM said needed doing, and the system punished them for it. If the court reinstates the prior schedule, their clinical approaches could once again be deemed professional misconduct." Judge Brian E. Murphy is currently deciding whether to grant the AAP's request for a preliminary injunction. This would restore the April 15, 2025 version of the vaccine schedule while the lawsuit proceeds. The AAP is also asking the court to cancel a federal vaccine advisory panel meeting scheduled for February 25th to 26th and to rebuild the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices ACIP under court supervision. CHD argues that the harms claimed by the AAP and its co-plaintiffs pale in comparison to the suffering endured by families affected by the vaccine schedule. The balance of irreparable harms weighs against restoration, not for it. This case is about more than just the vaccine schedule. It's about transparency, accountability, and the voices of families who have been silenced for too long. CHD and its co-plaintiffs are fighting to ensure that the court hears their stories before making a decision that could impact millions of children. Let's demand a system that prioritizes safety, truth, and the well-being of our children. Stay informed and join the fight for accountability in public health. Learn more at childrenshealthdefense.org. Share this video to spread awareness. The fight for justice in medicine continues. Let's make sure every voice is heard.